There was a time, and I think that's there for a lot of people, when I was more into thinking positively and, the new age kind of thing, having positive thoughts instead of negative thoughts, thinking that that would solve the suffering. And it's only when you become aware of how addicted you are to thinking that you realize that even the positive thoughts are not ultimately going to make a difference. I mean, they make a difference at some level. They're better than negative thoughts, self-critical thoughts, for example. That's always the worst ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it's thinking itself that we hold on to, because the difficult experience, whatever that is, seems to kind of, there's an automatic switch to the head. It takes us into the head, and then we try and figure out what to do about it.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that's something that everybody is addicted to, whether they know it or not. So when I met my teacher, Gangaji, I went up to speak to her, and I told her about how my life was so much better, but there was one thing that was left that really bothered me. And it was that Buddhist truth about life being suffering. And she just turned that in a way that was so totally unexpected to me. She said, you really love that story, don't you? You really love that drama. And I had to agree. And in that becoming aware of the story that I was telling myself, it's like that's how thoughts started unraveling. It was never quite the same, because the more you see that move into thinking, the more you're able to also just be with the rawness of whatever is here.
Mm-hmm.
Because then there's the choice. The moment you're aware of moving into thinking, there's a choice about continuing the thinking or facing the whatever uncomfortable stuff is there, whatever doesn't feel good.
Go to kilobicenter.com, Radical Recovery Summit, for access to the interviews. You can watch them free online for 48 hours after they air, or you could purchase an all-access pass. kilobicenter.com.